There's a little bit of controversy about that podcast because you did.
Oh.
Do you know about this?
No, what?
Because in D.C., this interview happened in D.C.
Yeah.
In a hotel.
Yeah. Not in a hotel. It was like a random house.
It was like random house. But apparently, you can tell me, they spent, meaning the Harris campaign spent like $100,000.
I did see
you
that.
Know about this?
It's hilarious.
To build the studio.
Yeah, that's not true.
Not true. To make it look like it was the studio that you used in L.A.
My studio that is gorgeous in Los Angeles doesn't even cost six figures. So I don't know how cardboard walls could cost six figures, but.
But do you think they did that? I mean, you saw
Absolutely not. With love to them. Oh my God, it was gorgeous, but like, it wasn't that nice. It wasn't like gorgeous marble. Like, no, that was not six figures.
Does climate change play any role in the increasing severity of earthquakes?
Well, that's a good question. A lot of people are trying to work on that. Sea level change could have some effect on it, but there's really no evidence that it has much effect at this point. But there's a lot of people digging into that question. It's a really good question.
I think that the weaponization of the Justice Department is a disturbing trend. I mean, we saw this Justice Department under Joe Biden suggest that traditional Catholics might be domestic terrorists. We saw them say people who went to school boards to protest school board policies, they might be investigated for terrorism by the FBI. So the genie's out of the bottle on the politicization of the Justice Department. This is not the time to make it worse by creating this ratchet where anybody that goes in the federal government is going to demand a pardon up front. We'll get to where you accept an appointment and want a pardon to go with it in addition to your pay scale.
Jenna, what do you think of this idea of preemptive pardons for, let's just say Liz Cheney or Adam Kinzinger, people who served on this select committee investigating January 6th, that Donald Trump clearly hates them and would love to see bad things happen to them. What do you think?
I think it's a horrendous idea. I think it is a terrible moral hazard question to preempt it for a president. If this is the path we're going down, I think we should talk about repealing the pardon power entirely, or creating some new body that handles pardons, because this is not what the founders intended. I think it's the Anti-Federalists had basically got it right. All in favor of creating a massive legal defense fund, right? So that these people don't get bankrupted by abuse of power. But I don't think the courts have been corrupted. I think these cases would get thrown out of the courts. You just don't want to create a situation where the process is the punishment. But I just think it's a terrible precedent.
The division in our country, though, comes back to the 2016 election to a lot of Democrats who didn't accept the legitimacy of Donald Trump's win. It's gotten worse from there. And if Joe Biden's, if he can make one, if he can make one positive contribution to American life before, but at the end of a long career, it might be to try to heal that division and tell Democrats, let's put our animosity aside. Let's end this chapter.